And welcome again to Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. Joining me right now, leaving the match, is Clare Parish. Clare was at Fulham's 2-0 victory against Cardiff City at Craven Cottage. And she is nice enough to join us in the car on the way home. Clare, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just giggling because as soon as we started this podcast,
Looks like we already have technical difficulties, Clare.
uh, yes,
Okay, not a problem. So, first things first, Claire, and I just want to just mention this to everyone who is watching and listens to the podcast. Just mention this right off the bat. Did it rain there, Claire?
I had to wipe the mascara from my eyes before I joined you. I was like, it's been a very soggy second half. Did it start raining in the first half? Yeah. No, it was a very, very soggy second half, Ron.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we get into the show, and if you're watching live, please feel free to share who was your man of the match. I'm going to share some good news with Claire. You ready for this, Claire? Are you aware of this? I know you probably are. Fulham have moved up to second.
There you go. Lovely. There we go.
So Fulham are now in one of the two promotion spots behind, I don't know, some other coach, but we won't really talk about him on this show. Now, as Claire's shaking her head, we don't have to talk about Parker Ball today. But Fulham are currently second. I'm also going to share two results because to make that happen, Fulham had to win. And thank you to Swansea City for beating West Brom. But here's the one. I'm going to share their results each and every match now. And Claire's going to get a chuckle over what I'm sharing. So Coventry City lose to Preston North End. So we're going to just keep sharing their results because they've been such a part of Cottage Talk lately, the Coventry City supporters. So I'm sorry you lost today. And yeah, actually puts a little smile on my face. Sorry, just had to go there. Had to scratch that itch there, Claire. Okay. All right, my friend. Give me your initial reaction of what you watched.
Well, if you want it very briefly, I think I would say that the second half, the first half was very, let's use a very untechnical term here and say party. It was a bit uneventful, a lot of passing, not a lot else. I will give Cardiff their dues and say that they defended well. They did what they had to do to keep the ball out of their net. Second half, I felt like we came out with more bites, certainly with more bite. There was a few, I would say, hasty passes in the first maybe 5-10 minutes of the second half. And, I remember looking at the clock, I think it was about 50 seconds minute. I thought, why are we acting so hasty on the ball? And, not looking up. We're just passing before we even know who we're passing to. But then I thought we found our stride really well and, massively deserved win. And, well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but that TC goal was just an absolute banger, wasn't it?
Well, we're going to definitely talk about that. But briefly, let's talk about the first half. And I want to give Cardiff City a lot of credit, Claire, what you watched. They actually had a very good game plan. Kudos to Mick McCarthy and his youngsters because he played a lot of youngsters. They really took away the left-hand side of Fulham where you would see Anthony Robinson and Neeskens Cabana. They took them away. And that really hurt Fulham. And you could see it. Fulham at times were at a walking pace. So it was very difficult. But the really takeaway for me in the first half, and it's actually going to lead what happened in the second half. Unfortunately, Harrison Reed got injured again, Claire. So here's a player that has really just, when he's played, when he's been on, has been fantastic. But he keeps getting injured. I hope this is not serious. What did you notice from Harrison Reed in the first half that led him to going off and Tom Kearney coming on in the second half?
I don't know, actually.
He did get injured. He had the train on.
He did, didn't he? But I didn't really see what it was. And to be honest, I don't know. There does seem to be a weakness there, doesn't there? Like Dad said, he did. Excuse me, just getting over a cold. He did have the trainer on, and it looked like a bit of a niggle. But
Yep.
I don't think any of us were concerned at the time. Just hope it's not serious, because he's a massive, massive part of our team, isn't he? And the
Absolutely.
creative side, really important for him to stay fit and stay on that pitch. He's such an important player for us.
Okay, excellent. And I totally agree with that. And again, it's unfortunate how it all played out, but it did lead to Tom Kearney's return. And this is huge. Let's start here. Let's talk about the response from the Fulham supporters when he came on the pitch to begin the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good reception. Sorry, excuse me. I mean, I must admit, in my family, we like Tom, but we did comment that we haven't missed him. So when he came on, we sort of, did that jokey thing because we're so hilarious. Oh, we'll probably be off again in the 53rd minute, Aren't we clever? And then obviously the fans' reaction was great, which it would be, because it is great to see him back. No one wants to see one of your players injured. And he can be such a crucial player for us. He can be. I think where he has had these knocks and injuries, I think he has been missing when he has played before his big layoff. It was great to remember what he's capable of, though. Really great. My dad actually said during the match, he never scores like little tippy-tappy goals, He always scores stonkers, doesn't he?
And he absolutely did. In the 57th minute, Claire, this was just an incredible goal from Tom Kearney. And again, I'm not there, I'm watching, but I can just imagine Craven Cottage just erupted. Amongst all the rain that you were dealing with, you still had enough to make it known about how much you love this goal. And this was an incredible goal from Tom Kearney. What was your response when you saw that go in the back of the net?
There was that initial second of it was just a fantastic goal to watch. And it's one of those goals, even if you weren't a Fulham fan, if you're a neutral supporter, you would have stood up and clapped that goal. Great goal, absolutely brilliant. And you know what, it was great to see not just what it meant to him, but what it meant for the team to see that goal.
Exactly.
It was such an important goal. But yeah, beautifully taken, absolutely beautiful. I want to see more of that now this season from him. Just God willing, he stays fit and we can see more of those crackers.
Well, what's interesting, Claire, and I agree with you on that, when he came on, and I'm going to just say this, I think the turning point of the match, and I hate to say this because I don't like it to be about of an injury with Harrison Reed, but it is Tom Kearney coming on. He offers something different that Fulham, again, he just offers a different element that they were not having. Harrison Reed does what he does. Tom Kearney does what he does, and it's a little bit different. And as you mentioned before, I don't think Fulham missed Tom Kearney, but he added something when he came back. How about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the beautiful thing about the players we've got. They've all got their own real strength. And that crucial part of the game that you need for different games as well. You're not going to have the same setup every game, are you? And that's what we've got, and we're lucky to have that.
Exactly. It's not many clubs can just bring on a Tom Kearney after an injury, can bring on the players that Fulham had on the bench that actually didn't even play in this match because of injuries. We have a very deep squad, and when you just add a Tom Kearney to the mix, it's really just a plethora of talent. When everyone is healthy, I can't wait to see what this club looks like. But it's just so nice to have him back and score this incredible goal. But that wasn't the end of it. It's funny because I always get concerned that you score the first goal, but when you're on top, I think it's really important to get that second. Well, they didn't waste much time. It's only a few minutes later. You have the goal. Now, this is from a mistake from Cardiff City, but good teams take advantage of mistakes. Bobby Decordova-Reid sets up Mitro for a goal that we're just used to seeing, Claire. This is a typical Mitro goal.
Yeah. With Mitro, you know, if he's there, it's going to go in the back of the net, more, 9 times out of 10. And yeah, I think Bobby does a lot for us, and I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Sorry, we just got a police car going by. Might drown me out a bit. Hang on.
We are live, so we're dealing with all kinds of issues. Being live in London, we are live.
I know I'm a foghorn, but I'm not competing with a police siren.
That's okay, Claire. But
really great goal. Another great goal and another really important goal. We needed it because Cardiff, although you could say that they didn't really look like they had, a dead cert on goal, you've always got a danger. Even at 2-0, you think if we let one in, we're in trouble here. That's the beautiful thing about the championship, isn't it? You really need to be three up to feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that because there is one thing that I do want to mention. And let's talk about this because Fulham are up 2-0. The match is almost over, Claire. Fulham are about to see it out. But Cardiff City weren't giving up. Big save at the end of the match by Marek Rodak. Huge save. Because if this goes in, everyone at Craven Cottage is on pins and needles at the very end of this match. I'm watching it on a stream, and I'm on pins and needles, just like thinking that he actually made this save. What was going through your mind at the very end when he made this save? Because if this goes in the back of the net, it's a nervy ending.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak for myself here, but I just felt like Cardiff weren't going to score. I don't know. I think they're better defenders than they are scorers. They certainly were today. But I love Rodak. I'm a massive Rodak fan. I've been throwing my toys out the pram for weeks that Rodak's not been playing. And it was so important, again, it was so important to see that from him because I think for me that hopefully cements his place. And there's no doubt, there's no doubt in Marco Silva's mind, should I play Gazzaniga? It's like, no, Rodak's the man. Really important. He's so capable though, Russ. He's such a capable keeper. He's for me, he's our number one, 100%. Great for him. Great for his confidence. Great for the team. Just again, every player on that pitch is an integral player.
Yeah. Is he your number one now? I'm actually sharing this from a Fulham supporter. Has he earned it tonight to be the number one goalkeeper? Claire, your thoughts?
100%. 100%. Without a doubt in my mind.
Okay, excellent. All right. To end the show, coming up next, we're going to talk about man of the match. Okay, Claire, let's get to it. I have a lot of comments. If you're watching live with myself and Claire on her way home, thank you, Claire, for doing this. Let's go to you, Claire. And actually, your father as well. Man of the match. How about your father? Man of the match.
Yeah, go on, Dad.
It is hard because they all put in a shift.
He's struggling. Did you hear that? The mic
I heard that.
Oh, you did? I didn't know if the mic picked it up.
They all put in a good performance. But
go on, Dad. Pick one. He's rubbish at choosing, my dad. You can't even choose between 2 biscuits on a plate.
Okay. How about I go to you, Claire, first?
Do you know what? I'm going to put my neck on the line. Really on the line here. And I really wanted him to score today. Actually, no. Do you know what? I'm not sure. To me, it was between 2 of them. I thought Bob Deck did an amazing job today. Absolutely amazing. And he was on the tip of my tongue. And then I thought, oh man, Seri. It's 50-50 between my 2 boys there.
Okay.
They both deserved it, in my opinion. But you know what? I would have given it to them all. Really would.
Okay.
Even Jay Stansfield.
Even Jay Stansfield. Jay Stansfield. Hey, he had an impact at the very end, Claire. He actually did.
He got stuck in there, bless him.
Yeah. He gives them all of a couple minutes and he makes an impact. How about giving him 20 minutes? He gives him 2 minutes.
I know. That's what I said. Why couldn't he have done that on the 80 seconds or something? Never mind.
Okay.
That's Seri.
Seri. Okay, so we have
There
Seri. You have Bobby Decordova Reed and Seri. You can't choose. Claire, get off the fence. Choose.
Bobby.
Okay.
Let's
All right.
go, Bob.
Okay, let's go, Bobby. All right. I'm going to share some comments I'm getting. Let's see. We've got Tom Kearney, man of the match from Emma Reynolds. See, James Starkey. Yep, I agree. Let Seri have it. Okay. So we have a Seri. So let's see what else we got here. We've got a bunch of just comments in general. Max Bryson Kearney was brilliant. Mitro on fire as always. And let's see. We got Wayne Walden. Tom Kearney is back. He was man of the match. So we do have a few people saying it was Tom Kearney, and I certainly understand that. I'm going to go with your father, and I'm going to say John Michael Seri.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that one, definitely.
Okay, I'm going to go with Claire's father, and I'm going to say John Michael Seri. Let's see. So, anyways, Claire, you're struggling with a little bit of a cold. Thank you for doing this. It pours, it rains like cats and dogs, and you do this show with me. Thank you.
There we go. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk to you, my darling. You know that.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. Just a heads up, I'm going to be traveling over the next few days. So the next show of Cottage Talk will probably be early next week. I'm sorry about that, but I will not be around. But I'll be back to give you commentary, post-match commentary of the Nottingham Forest match. Let's hope Fulham get another 3 points. That'd be great. All right, let's wrap this up. For Claire's father, Clare Parish, and Russ Coleman, thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk.